All right, guys, we are live on YouTube and in the community, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete all this stuff out. Appreciate you guys joining. 8 o'clock. I don't usually do these evening calls, but we did want to launch this copy trader program for those of you guys in the community. As you guys know, we wanted to do like an early launch for you guys. Just perks of being in the community. We're going to start heavily promoting this and stuff tomorrow. If you're on TikTok, you guys can go to botjock.com, hop on in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some kind of the plan today is I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the TA for each of them. The TA is not going to be super deep. As you guys know, when we trade our ATAs, we just trade direction. We're going to take our top, we're going to take our bottom, we're going to figure out where that is, maybe find a trend line or two, and we'll decide if we're going to go long or if we're going to go short or if we don't want to touch it, right? Keep in mind, I will not overextend tonight because we do have a FOMC tomorrow. I just want to kind of just get a couple pairs going tonight. During the huddle tomorrow, I will activate potentially some more. But at least, those you guys that are running tonight, maybe we can get some up and going. So, let's take a look at it. So I am going to be looking at all of the 8 pairs. I don't normally run BTC, but with the copy trade program, I'm going to. So if you guys are following along, typically what I do is I like to mute the indicator. As you guys know, I go to the 1 hour. So before we choose our range, we want to just get a clear picture of where is our range, right? So we know we have a low of low down here around 19K or so. And we have a high up here around 31. So technically, that's kind of our larger range. If you wanted to box that in, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'll put a green one here, just so later on, right, we can know where it is, and we'll put a red one here, just so that way we'll call this our top and bottom, right, green and red. And then now we want to kind of box in where are we finding support and where have we been ranging, more recent, right? And so we obviously know if we look on the 1 hour here, we have prior resistance there and we have prior support here, right? So this is a very good support area or like a bottom of sort, right? So we'll mark this one. This time I'm going to make this one yellow. As you guys know, I like to use my yellow lines to box in. And then we know that this is our high, but we want to find more of a kind of a common ground, right? And so if we look in here, if we want to just kind of capture this peak right here, let's just do that for right now. We may adjust this later. So that's kind of us, boxing it in, right? So now let's take a look and see. I think on Bitcoin, you have to go a little bit farther out, right? But as far as a trend line goes, this was the trend line that captured that pump there. So we just want to kind of tighten that up a little bit. We can do this one as green just because it's going to be our support line, right? Trend line. And then we can kind of take a look here and see. So if you guys know, when I do these TAs, if you've been following me for a bit, I'm just basically boxing this in. That's all I'm doing, because when you're boxing it in, it helps you choose direction, right? So now you can see how we're kind of in BTC getting into a squeeze area, right? So our range is the yellow one, our low range is the green, our upper range is red. Even on the downtrend line and the uptrend line, we're kind of right in the middle. So we definitely could go down as low as 24. We definitely could pump back up as high as 27.3 or so. So it's not a bad time to make a decision to start our long and our short. But as you guys know, we are going to keep the settings on the ones I've been using, which is going to be, walking through here. So we have long BTC. We're always going to do the SARS for right now. It's, as you guys know, in the community, it's a little bit of a safer strategy. And then let's get on the 1 minute, because I was like, wait, 768 days. We are creating this as a scalping ATA, so I will be using the 1 minute on that. So we're going to go into here. So I'm going to take the settings. We have the long, we have BTC, we're using Big Get, Parabolic SARS. We always leave this untouched. I'm keeping the take profits default. We're going to uncheck these two DCAs. Then all I have to do, I'm not going to enable a stop loss on this because we are going to trade both ways. So I'm going to do 2023. And we're going to put this at, what are we, 613. This at 4, which is what I'm at. And the close time is going to be 20:06. And that's all we have to do to set it up, guys. So what that's going to do is it's going to throw my yellow candle. For those of you guys new to the ATA, that means that we're basically ready to roll, right? So we do have BitGet long, BTC long set up. We are good to go. We can just double check settings, long, BTC, BitGet, Parabolic SARS, all looks good, 1 DCA, and we got our close candle. So we're solid. So as you guys know from there, I'm just going to open the little clock so I make sure my alert fires. We're going to come in here. This will be our first one that we set. I'm going to name it ATA copy trade. I don't want to do copy, that's too much typing. I'm just going to call it ATA BTC long because we'll know what they are on this one. I moved my Gambit over to a different trading view. So we have ATA BTC long, right? So you always want to just make sure BTC long, so that is the correct one. We're going to come in here, we're going to hit create, and we are live. So if you are following BTC, we are active on the BTC. So if you have an open BTC and you just started copy trading me, make sure that you have that sucker turned off, or it will open a trade and add volume to that trade. If you are not, and you don't have anything on BTC, let it roll. The next trade, it'll take it. So we're going to do the same thing on the short. As you guys see, it does reset the box here on the profit, so you're good. Keep in mind, guys, and I've touched on this in the room, my volume I'm trading, this one's going to be connected to a Goliath account. The copy trade program is set up where it will match the volume of the ATA you're trading. So if you're trading a smaller one, don't freak out, because you're going to trade at your volume. So all we're doing is initiating the trade. So short, we have BTC, Parabolic SAR, BitGet, you got Touch. We're going to do only 1 DCA, especially with the FOMC tomorrow, right? We might need to intervene, but we'll see how it does. It did really well with the news today. 613, which, we really didn't move too much today, but 20:08. And then match my time zone. I'm going to close trade on chart. I'm just waiting for that yellow signal. And we are locked and loaded. So we're going to go ahead and create our alert. ATA, BTC, short. All right, guys, BTC is locked and loaded in. The beauty is if your copy trade, like I said, is active, anything that fires, it will trigger to your account. So my suggestion is you're not going to be able to see my trading view, right? It's going to trigger to your account. You'll get something showing on your dashboard, right, that it's in a trade, so you can monitor it that way. We don't have a way for you to monitor my trading view per se. If I figure out a way to do that, where we can stream it, then we'll do that. But for right now, you don't. But if you want to know what my thoughts are, you always can ask in the trading view or in the trading floor. And you can always watch these huddles, right, to make the decision, see what decisions I'm actually making. Keep in mind, though, you can manage everything from your dashboard. So if you don't like something, turn it off, close it, whatever you want to do. So, but BTC is good. We're live. So let's take a look at ETH. I'm probably going to activate BTC and ETH both today. And then I might hold off on the altcoins, on the other altcoins until tomorrow. We'll assess that. So if you are in a BTC and ETH and you were hoping to get something started today, I apologize, but we're just going to start with 2. We'll get that up and trading long and short, and then tomorrow morning for the huddle we'll assess some of these other ones. I'll look at the TA. If I see something super clear, then I might do it. Some of these alts are really low, so opening some longs might not be a bad idea if it's really low in the range. So we'll take a look. I guess I won't say no that I won't. So ETH, we're going to do the same thing. Let's go to the 1 hour. So we'll mark the bottom just like we did. And we'll make that one green, and we'll do the same thing we did before. We're We're going to mark the top. Apologize. And then let's mark the localized. Let's take a look back and see. So you can see we had a lot of resistance in here, and we had a lot of support in here. It held support right there, which was at this prior resistance. Let's go a little bit lower and mark it about right here. Yeah, see, it actually is perfectly on that. So we're literally like at the bottom area here on ETH. The upper area is going to be somewhere. Let's mark it on this one. That's fine. Okay. So you can see we are in the lower kind of more localized trend, right? Over the last month or so, we've been kind of hanging in this range. A break below here is going to basically push us down, right? We could go as low as here. But now we want to look at the trend line. This is similar to what we did with BTC, right? So you can see BTC did the same thing. It had a bounce based off of this kind of push there. So let's take a look. You might even be able to grab it from this peak. Yeah, that almost hits perfectly. So we'll take that like that, and we're going to just box it in again. We can stretch this out just a little bit further. So we're just going to box that one in, and then let's box the upper end. I'm going to pull from this one here like that. And we'll adjust these as they move out of the range, right? But this gives us a kind of an idea of where we are in that range and how we want to handle it each day. So again, with ETH, if you take the absolute lower and the absolute high upper, right, we're in the middle of the range. Technically, a long would be more ideal because we are holding that support, so we could pump back up as high as 19. As long as we use that one DCA protocol, though, and we're not super aggressive with it, we should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the long and the short on ETH as well. So we're going to do the same thing, parabolic SARS, ETH, take profits are the same. You guys can see how quickly you can set these up once you get them going. 23, 6, 13, 20, 13. And again, those that are kind of new to what I'm doing here, the difference of this one versus what I've done in the past, people just followed me. This one, whatever I said on here, if you're active in the copy trade, it's going to take that trade. So it makes it a lot easier for you guys. So let's go back to the 1 hour and make sure we got our candle, which we did. So anytime you get this yellow, again, that's your wall, right? That's where we start. So we are going to be fresh. So let's go ahead and get the alert made for ATA ETH long. And then let's set up the ETH short. So I'm going to do it a little bit quicker. I don't want to keep explaining it each time because really, guys, as you guys know, when you guys do these ATAs, it's literally the same thing every time. You see how fast I'm doing this. I always love that even when people want to do it on their own, they always come back and say, well, I don't have time. Not being able to understand it, I get that. Technology's doesn't come as easy to some as it does others, right? But people that say I don't have time to do it, literally, I just set this entire thing up in 10 seconds. So, you can see just quickly if you want to pause because this is being recorded. We have the ETH parabolic SARS, to take profits, I'm leaving default. We're only doing one DCA. We closed our trade on chart. And we're all set. I don't trust nothing else. So all I'm going to do now is make the alert. ATA, ETH, short. This was a short. Okay. All right. So we knew we were going to activate those ones. Y'all know that I typically run ETH all the time anyways. I've been running ETH non-stop either way. I think except for once when we were like 2100, I ran only short for months now. So, we've been able to work our way out of it the way that it goes, and it's done really, really well. So I'm not too worried about BTC or ETH. That's why I'm okay with just getting those things fired and get them rolling, right? So we got ETH going. So far we have long, BTC long, BTC short, ETH long, ETH short. So we are solid on those. So let's take a look at LTC. Let's see. LTC is a monster, guys. You all know who's running this. Look at XRP or LTC. it would have made $1,600 in 16 days. I mean, just so nut. Look at this thing just trade like a nut on, and even in a uptrend. Look at this; it's still just shorting the crap out of it. That's just the short, right? If you go to the long, it looks like the long is a little bit stuck here because we had that fall, right? But this is all default settings, not based on TA, but still made $700 in 16 days. So not too shabby. I mean, about $2,300 in 16 days. All right, so let's go ahead and get the. Actually, I don't know that I want to start. Let's see. Let's box it in first, guys, before we make a decision. I might not do a short on LTC, but I might do a long only on LTC. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. So if you are running LTC, because without even looking at the chart, I already kind of had an idea because I've been following it. Oop, wrong button. And LTC took a little bit of a beating, just like other altcoins as well. So we're gonna box this in, same thing. We're gonna do our upper, we'll do our lower. I'm gonna keep the color code the same, so we'll go yellow or red and green. I always like to do the specific colors based on that because of the fact that when I'm zoomed in, it just helps me out a lot. So this one I'm gonna bring down just a little bit for my yellow, and the reason why is one, I want a little space from that. And two, we had a lot of resistance in through this level and through this level here. You can see when it couldn't break it, it just collapsed. I mean, it's a pretty good line. It's not the exact top here, but it still played out really well before it collapsed, right? So still a very viable line. The yellow down here, let's put it about right there. So you can see that, although I'm interested in doing a long only, we do have a little bit of a rising kind of wedge here, right? After a big fall, and it's trying to hold support here. So if it can hold support and break through this wedge, right, then we could have a case of a down over up. However, if this wedge does break, then we will break this line and retest this area here. Either way, guys, doing the 1 DCA, I'm okay with taking that. My thing is the fall that we had here. I mean, we dropped from $90 all the way to 73, right? If any kind of strength comes back into the crypto market, right, this is going to reclaim, right? And so any short's going to just absolutely get decimated. If we happen to fall down to here, right, we do have that DCA protocol. Anything in here, I mean, this is like our low of low where it just like absolutely mooned, right? So I'm okay with that. So I'm not going to run a short on LTC. Not today. I may assess that and do it tomorrow, but I will open up a long. So let's go ahead and go to the 1 minute. I could just right click and do the chart, but that's okay. We're just taking the long route stretch in there. Okay, let's do this. So we have long LTC. We're going to go parabolic SARS. For those that are new, I'm just going to touch on this briefly because I get this question sometimes. Parabolic SARS is our latest strategy we built, and it is a combination of like all the good stuff we've created from different indicators and such. So it's a very patient one. It was specifically designed to be patient for like altcoins that move fast, things like that. So it's a little bit of a safer strategy. Things like Trend Finder, Moving Average, Rain Filter, those ones that find those trends, I mean, they're going to be so aggressive to just capitalize on those trends. So, and I don't want to do that with the copy trade. So we're going to take the safer way, and they still profit really well, but they tend to get stuck a lot less. So long LTC, big get, parabolic SARS, we got touch, we're doing that. We're just going to do the 1 DCA. I'm not going to do the stop loss on that quite yet. And we're going to do 6, 13, what are we at, 20, 20. That should be good. Okay, so now we got our yellow, we are on 1 minute, we got everything set in there. So let's go ahead and add the alert, ATA, LTC long. I'm probably not going to run anything else, guys, so I'll take a quick look at some of these other ones, maybe box them in. But again, I don't want to go, too overextending going into this meeting tomorrow. So right now we're running basically 5 directions. We'll assess those tomorrow in the huddle and see how they're doing and make decisions there. So that's probably all I'm going to run for now. And then again, like I said, we'll assess it tomorrow. So, but we can do some quick TA because I know some people were asking my thoughts on where we're going. So if we go to Matic, Matic's a weird one, man. I tell you, Matic took an absolute beating. I mean, look at this. We just went to the moon at like $1.50, like not even that long ago, right? And then we just dropped to 50 cents. I mean, it lost a whole dollar because of the SEC beat down. It's easy to blame it on the SEC solely, but guys, think about this with Matic. It dropped from 70 some odd cents to there. I mean, yeah, it was a pretty big drop, right? But at the end of the day, this thing has been declining since it hit this, right? I mean, this was just a straight bull trap, and then they just, wrecked everybody that bought up there. Those of you guys in the community, when it was way up at $1.50, I was like, I'm not touching this with a long 10-foot pole because many people just I knew you guys were all gonna get wrecked. So if you got caught in that, I feel for you. So let's go. Normally I don't mark the low over here. Man, this low right here. If we hit this low, this is back in 2022. But it's very possible, I guess. Let's just mark it as the low because we're already so low, right? Because the idea of these upper and lower ranges is truly to mark just the peaks and the bottom, right? But this peak and this bottom are so ridiculous that the likelihood of them becoming viable in my decisions is not very good. If you look here, we do have a trend right there, so I would probably take this as my upper band resistance, and then lower is just like a mess, guys, because we're so low. I'm not going to go back any farther, so I'm just going to take a 2-point right here like this and just box that in like that. So we'll see how that goes, how that plays out. As far as my yellow goes, we probably could just take this low here. Yeah, Matic's a mess. If I were to take anything, I probably would do a long, but I'm gonna hold off on that. But a long could be pretty good on Matic. And then we're gonna take. I mean, technically the yellow should be about right here. Let's just put it here. Let's box it in. It's kind of a weird one, guys. And the reason why I'm doing this is I could take this resistance level, but what was once support will act as resistance. Pretty good, right, too. So this level is irrelevant if we can't pass this level anyways. So we'll just keep that as our box in. I mean, this one up here is just almost ridiculous to have. So I think I'm going to cut it a little short on Matic and bring it down to there. Because there's just, I mean, to go to $1.50 when we're sitting at 64 cents is not viable. That will never come play in my range, right? So, and it wasn't even on my chart. So I'm going to leave it like this, guys. We're not going to touch Matic yet. Honestly, I would love to see a retest on Matic around 50 cents or so, something like that. And then we'll take a long and just ride that train north because it'll be a pretty good train north. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Matic. Let's check Solana. I only got about 6 minutes left. I was trying to keep this one about 30 minutes. So if I don't get to the other ones, I will do them tomorrow on the morning huddle. So Solana's in the same boat. We have to almost go out farther. So we don't need to take the low on this one because we did get kind of a double touch. So I would say let's mark this one as our low. I mean, I'm not even going to play with anything up there because we all know what happened to Solana on that. I am going to take probably my upper band like this, which will become probably pretty viable. And then we're just going to isolate it to this upper band, more localized. We'll just create this one as our red. And we're going to do the same thing we did with Matic. We're just going to create our yellow about right here. Oops, clicked on green. And then we're just going to make this low our other yellow. So Solana's another one, guys. I would probably just run along on it, but I would like a retest, so I'm not going to touch it tonight. So, but if, you know, pause to read if you guys are in the community. You guys can set up your charts if you want to follow with that. Or if you're doing your own stuff, right? So, Aave looks like it was killing it. Aave's a good one. You know, Aave actually has held a little bit stronger compared to some of the other ones. I mean, look at that. Look at that bounce from 46, right, all the way back. So it actually did pretty well. We have to go a little bit higher, though. Same as the other ones. Yeah, see, look at this. We actually reached our prior low back in 2022, so it actually collapsed pretty good, which is probably why I got that really good bounce. So we're gonna have to actually make our low the green, which is gonna be interesting. We can go just slightly above it, I guess, for my yellow. It's not really giving much room. And then my next yellow, I'm not going to take this resistance level. We're gonna pull it up and capture this one right here, just to give a little bit more room. So you can see we are on the lower band. So if anything, I'm looking for a long on Aave. Aave also has kind of an interesting little falling wedge, but it did break the lower low right here. So I'm not sure how valid that's going to hold, but it, you know, likelihood it's got more up before it's got down. Yeah, because I mean we basically retested this prior low and just bounced really well. So as far as my trend down, you can kind of see. I would probably take this point. I know I could do more localized of this one, but it's a little bit angled down more than I would like. So I'm just going to take this 2 point as my localized. There's really no trend up that I can take because it's at the bottom, guys. So I could go back farther, but I'm not going to. And then we have Doge. We're almost done, I guess, so we could just finish these. If you're new to the ATAs too, guys, this is literally, like, if you want to do it on your own and you don't want to copy trade, that's totally fine. All you have to do is exactly what I'm doing now. So you just find your upper, find your lower, right? So our lower is going to be about right there. Our upper, we can go ahead and place it up here, a little higher than I would like, but it's okay. And then my upper for my yellow, we can just place it at this previous high here. Use your own color code, guys. Don't be afraid to use your own color code. I'm gonna place it, I'm just gonna place it at this lower one, even though we're not quite there. I'm gonna see if it breaks above this, right, and we can hold prior support like we did here to pull back in. Use your own color code, guys. If you want to follow mine, that's fine. I do red as my upper, my green as my lower low, and then my yellow is kind of my box in, what I'm actually trading like. And what I mean by that is if we break this level here and we start to push north, right, I'm going to let the long run, but I'm actually looking pretty close to thinking about killing those longs, right, because we might get a rejection. So what I use that for. So trend line, I'm just going to take these 2 points, nothing crazy. Again, just to kind of look for something that might reject if we do get caught in a nice little push north. I'm not going to deal with any lower trend because we already hit pretty low. I mean, on the 6 hour, you can see we're retesting lows of 2022, which is interesting, right? So altcoins definitely took a beating. XRP is a weird one, guys. I will not trade XRP right now. Looking to reset chart, but it doesn't want to give me that option. That's okay. Oh, probably because I was already in reset chart. Yeah, okay. XRP, with it being so news driven, guys, XRP is the only one. Look at this. The only one that did not revisit the low. If anything, it's hanging out at the high. Call it the case, call it FOMO, call it, the greatest following of XRP people that believe that the government's going to allow, everybody that's holding XRP to be multimillionaires. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm not an XRP guy, but don't hate it, don't love it. Yeah, I don't really like that as my high because it's so close, guys. But man, look at this. It's really like I don't want it up here. Let's put it like around here. It's kind of a weird one because this is the prior resistance level or support level, right? So we might actually break up into that. Gives me enough range to have a little bit of room to play. I'm gonna set my yellow here for like a mid-range support, and resistance. We're kind of down in this range, so I'm going to just set my resistance line about right there. So this will be the range that we're going to play in for XRP. So, but that's all I'm going to run, guys. It's 8:30. I was trying to keep it about 30 minutes. And so we have BTC long, BTC short, ETH long, ETH short, LTC long. For those who's copy trading, you guys are going to kill it. I'm excited to see what you guys get in the morning. I look forward to this, guys. If you're one that's out there, if you're in the community or you're watching on TikTok, if you've watched this a little bit, but you're like, man, the technology is a little hard, all you have to do is do the copy trade. When you go into set up your ATA, just a simple button. You click copy trade, enable it, agree to understanding that you are copy trading, and then you just turn it on, and you don't have to touch nothing else. I mean, you could literally, from the moment you link your exchange, your BitGet exchange, to our dashboard, it will take you a matter of like 5 minutes to set it up, and you're up and going. So keep in mind my last little disclaimer on that. This copy trade program is for BitGet only. The reason why is BitGet allows us to trade long and to trade short at the same time. So I will be capitalizing on that. I will not be doing it for KuCoin, Spot, any of that stuff. So if you want to really make some money, you want to automate some trades, you just want to kind of watch these huddles and let yourself make some money, just sign up for the BitGet, right? Super easy to do. It's a great exchange. But that's all I got. Appreciate you guys' time. If you guys are in the community, I'm going to answer a few TikTok questions, and then if you guys have questions in the community, put it in the trading floor. I'll be up for a little while because we're working on other projects. But super exciting. This is I think a huge step for a lot of people that really want this. I love the mentality many of you in the community are doing, that you're looking to take your accounts and run 3, 4, 5 ATAs on copy trades, so that way you're just maximizing your potential profit, because I want you guys to profit. I mean, it's obviously, we get our fee, it's a set fee. Anything else is yours, right? So the more you make, the better, right? I mean, it's just it works well for us, and that's why we intended our products are built in the intent that they basically earn your membership fee. So because we don't want you guys paying for nothing. So appreciate your time. I'm gonna answer some questions on TikTok, and we'll see you guys in the